In that 70s show, though the hit series focused on Eric Foreman, played by Topher Grace, and his friends, it was grumpy Red Foreman and his ever-cheerful wife Kitty, played by Kurtwood Smith and Debra Jo Rupp respectively, that stole the show. In Netflix's revival series, That 90s Show, the two are reprising their roles, but this time they're the grandparents of Eric and Donna's Laura Prepon daughter, Leia, Callie Havada. A new generation is taking over the Foreman basement, to Red's deep irritation. When Callie visits her grandparents in Point Place, Wisconsin, for the summer, Red and Kitty find themselves, once again, hosting a throng of teens. In addition to Havada, the new cast introduces Mace Coronel, Rain Doi, Maxwell Donovan, Sam Morelos, and Ashley Aufderheide. The series will also feature guest appearances by That 70s Show alums Grace Prepon, Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, Wilma Valderrama, and more, before That 90s Show takes over. Netflix on January 19, Collider's Steve Weintraub spoke with Rupp and Smith about returning for the reboot. During their interview, the duo reveal how, had they not signed on, That 90s Show wouldn't be made, what it was like to reprise such iconic characters, and how filming for a 10-episode season compared to 20-plus episodes. They also talk about the power of dumbass all these years later and serving as executive producers. You can watch the interview in the video above, and read the full transcript below. Debra Jo Rupp. Oh, you're looking at me? I think I would just like them to smile. That's all. When you look at me, I want you to smile. Because I haven't done RoboCop, because I would imagine you don't want that to happen then. But for me, I would like them to go, and quat, oh, I know her, and quat, and smile. That's what I would like. Kurtwood Smith. Well, Debra Jo mentioned RoboCop, which of course did an awful lot for me, and was terrific fun to do it. But I would say I would like them to see Patriot on Amazon, which I did a couple of years ago. Rupp. Oh, was that the question? Smith. Wasn't that the question? What would you like people to see if they're not familiar with your background? Yeah. Rupp. Oh, I did not know that. I misinterpreted the question. Oh, Smith. But you did a good job though. I thought your answer was good. Rupp. Oh, okay. Smith. See. Rupp. I don't think they would have made it. Smith. Certainly not in this format. I mean, I guess they could have done. Well, no. They couldn't. Because Topher Grace had another show. Rupp. No. I was told they wouldn't have done it. Smith. Well, they certainly wouldn't have done it this way. Rupp. Well, for me, the difference was, I already knew the character. So in 70s Show, we were all figuring out our characters. But going into this, I already knew Kitty. I knew who Kitty was, so I felt like I had a leg up. And with less episodes, that was very valuable because I didn't have to do this, waste 4 episodes doing investigating as to who she was. It was there from the beginning. That's my answer. What's yours, Smith? That was a good answer. That was really a good answer. What was the question again? Okay, yeah. I think that, yes, before we were doing 25 episodes a season, we're only doing 10 this time, but that was good, especially, I think, at the beginning. If we were trying to do 25 episodes, I think it would have run us all into the ground. I think the fact that the writers, in particular, the creators of the show, Bonnie and Terry Turner and Greg Metaler, all three of whom had worked on the previous show, they knew where to go. They also had a leg up, as opposed to having to develop all these things as it went along. If you go back and look at the beginning of that 70s show to see how much we changed, how much the show changed in the time that it was on the air. Here, they already knew what was going to work. They already knew that Dumbass was going to work, and they knew that Deborah Jo was going to be able to laugh, and they had all these things going right from the beginning. Smith, amazingly, a lot. It's amazing to me that guys. Maybe one woman asked me to call her a dumbass, but pretty much it's guys and they come up and they go, and quat. Hey man, can you call me a dumbass? And quat. And what I used to say was, and quat. Anybody who wants to be called a dumbass is a dumbass. And quat. And then I'd call them a dumbass, and they'd be happy. Yeah. But I don't know why. I have no idea what that comes from. I think they feel that it kind of pulls them in, makes them a little tiny bit a part of the show. Smith. I think that this first season, we really didn't have time to make use of that. Everybody is so busy developing the show that I think that for us to start saying, and quat, hey, we think that, and quat, would have just made everything very difficult. Rupp. A big difference from 70s show was dealing with COVID in that 90s show, and there was just a lot of pulling together with that, and a lot of figuring out with that. So that took a lot of time. There was a lot of navigating with 90s show, and I think we all everybody just pitched in and did what they could do. So I'm not really exactly sure about the executive producer yet, but we will be finding out, hopefully. That 90s show will stream exclusively on Netflix beginning January 19th. From director Brett Donohoe, The Old Way stars Academy Award winner Nicolas Cage as Colton Briggs, a gunslinger who hung up his hat and traded his life of bloodshed for love and family. When the consequences of Colton's past catch up with him, costing him his wife, nothing will stand between the retired killer and his vengeance. Cage's very first Western, which sees him as a John Wick of the West, lends the classic tale of revenge a fascinating layer with Briggs' daughter Brooke, played by up-and-coming talent Ryan Kiera Armstrong. Firestarter. Cage describes the two as social misfits, with a propensity towards violence, who work together to blend into society before teaming up to reap retribution from their matriarch's killers.